A. In the bottom left, we have a GSL Code S Champion.
DongRaeGu.
Pink is in right now. We've had lots of
Certainly.
pink gear here.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Real men use pink in their gear setup.
Yes. And to the bottom right, our Protoss player
Tassadar.
was at one point one of my favorite players, actually, just because he was like a genius, you know, like the player genius, not actually like he was some sort of mastermind, but
He was a mastermind too. I'm sure all these guys are probably genius level at this point in time.
I guess so. But the reason why I liked him so much was he could play a macro PVT or even a decent PVZ, but because he was so unpredictable, started to prepare for him, he would all-in you just enough times, like less times than Hongan Prime or any pro, but like more times than, I don't know, I'm trying to think of another player from back then, like Puzzle. More time than Puzzle would all-in you, but he's had this really good balance that made it hard to prepare for him, and he won a lot of games from that, but for some reason, in Heart of the Storm, he's just failed to transition. And even before that, at the end of Wings of Liberty, he was not having any success. And to see that he is still around teamless and preparing and still playing StarCraft II at the highest level, able to qualify for Code A, is very impressive to me. And I'm proud of him for that fact, you know, sticking around.
Yeah, I mean, that really does show a lot of natural talent. I mean, you're right. You're not on a team. You don't have anybody really coaching you. I mean, you might have some friends, down here for moral support, but and he's still able to get into Code A. And Code A is no small feat, guys.
Yeah, it's the Code A qualifier is harder than a lot of StarCraft II tournaments in the world that are worth like thousands of dollars. It's just a stacked tournament with some of the best players in the world, former champions.
Well, also, you got to look at all the players in Code S are usually in tip-top shape.
Yeah.
They're not, constantly having to travel, getting fatigued. So they're really able to kind of focus in. Now the Lynx have spawned, and they're going to try to chase out this probe here. DongRaeGu, by the way, the origins of that name, that is I want to say it's a province in Busan. Yeah. Is that what we call it, a province or a district?
Yeah, I think it's technically like Daegudong is like what it's called, I think, in the address, but like I think he just switched it up to...
Well, gu means, doesn't that mean province?
It means district, I think.
District.
And dong means like neighborhood, like I believe.
I believe. It gets kind of like nebulous with some of these words.
They don't
here.
directly translate to English at all, but dong is more like a neighborhood.
That's
or an
actually
area.
where he's from. He's from Busan, which is the second largest city in Korea, the beach city.
Definitely, if you're here in the summer, or even if not in the summer, if you have time.
Not so much in the winter, unless you like a cold, frigid beach.
It's funny because a lot of the time when I have to go to Busan for work, like it's
always in the winter. Yeah, well, you know why? Because that's when they have lots of esports events down there.
It's true.
This is a nice little. Oh my God! Busted.
Wow, I don't even know what he was planning on doing here, but it's not happening anymore. I guess maybe
right
like
now,
5 gates.
Tassadar was not even caught with his pants down. Well, if he was caught with no pants at all, it was like one of those dreams where you're suddenly in school and then you're like, why are my pants not on? Like, why am I naked?
Yeah, and like even
you're like, how did I get here? Did I ride the bus to school naked?
Yeah, it's one of those things in the dream, like, for some reason you just can't put two and two together that this is clearly not reality. You're just like, oh my God! Oh my God, I have no pants! And you like cover yourself and you're like,
trying to cover
I hope nobody notices that I'm not wearing any pants at all
you're
right
now.
now.
You're like, gosh, I'm taking this test and it's in one of these weird little wooden desks that doesn't really cover a thing. Leaves nothing to the imagination. You feel your little tushy on that cold seat and you're like, how did I not notice this?
You know what's funny is like this situation is depicted in a lot of like media and cartoons, and I remember growing up as a kid just being like, I never had these dreams where I'm naked, but then like after I was done with school, I had dreams that like I was in school naked. Isn't that strange? I don't even understand.
That's interesting. I actually have naked dreams nowadays, but I just seem to not care. I'm like, oh, cool.
And like nobody actually in the dream has ever noticed I was naked or made fun of me, so I guess it's like in the dream I'm like,
there's varying degrees of that. You can look it up online, like based on like certain periods of where you're at, and like for instance, if you have a dream where your teeth are falling out,
yeah,
that means that you're just aging.
Yeah.
Whether you're growing or you're getting actually just older, it means you're aging. But yeah, man,
you get that one from time to time. Or
actually, like whenever I have those now, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, is this a dream? And I wake up.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot too, actually. Sometimes, like, nowadays when I have the teeth dream, which is pretty rare for me, but, like, at the last time I had it, somebody punched me in the mouth and I, like, lost, like, one of my incisors. And I was like, oh, my God. And I woke up and I was like, oh, no, it's fine. It's all right.
Whenever I have the teeth losing dream, I'm like, I don't know, I'm like eating a candy bar or something, and then, like, I lick my teeth, and then, like, one of them comes out, and I'm like, oh, my God. I'm, like, trying to push it back in. Well, back to this game. We have the Protoss getting a +1 attack. And the Protoss, this is a pretty common move, but it's something that the Protosses can get away with nowadays. If the Zerg does not contest the Protoss at all on the map, the Protoss sneaks out of third base by walling off with a really tight double gateway, double pylon wall in there, or sometimes even single gateway, double pylon wall in. And from here, what Tassadar is going to do is a really nice timing off of this. He's got 7 gates about to complete.
Yeah, he's going up into 8 gateways.
I believe he's going to have 9 total, right?
I think it's 8.
No, because he had that one. Oh no, wait, did he go Forge first?
Yeah, Forge.
We were talking about, you know, what goes on in the recesses of our minds with these dreams.
I don't know how many teeth Tassadar has, but I think he has 8 gateways. By the way, DRG has droned like insanely heavily, but I think that's going to give him just enough production to actually hold this off, especially with that
Definitely
free sentry.
Well, maybe not totally free.
That's that 1 sentry. He does lose a few lings. He's playing against Tassadar, so he should know that this is coming. Chrono Boost on all the warp gates. And here we go. 3 sentries.
Now,
what else?
Unless he really damages a Zerg, this is not something you just kind of switch gears out of.
It has to be almost fatal, actually.
Yeah, it has to be a really powerful blow here. But this could take out DRG. This is actually not a bad follow-up considering the proxy pylon was spotted. Now, what he wants to do with the lings is just try to get up over here and deny reinforcements from coming in here with these pylons. It's really about keeping the reinforcements away from the main army.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be pretty tough to make work against this many Hydras on the way, but he's trying for it, right? A few more Queens being added as well. Hydra's range isn't done, and that's pretty important. If the Lings can make this army turn around one more time, I think he'll be fine. But you know what? He doesn't turn around, and this is smart. Now he's going to engage really nice force fields here.
Beautiful force fields, actually.
He could actually break through. There's not that many Hydras there at the front, but that Spine Crawler helping out so much.
You know what? I think DRG just has enough, no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just the reinforcements are a bit late here, too. Just not able to come in quick enough. And DRG just outclassed Tassadar, as you might expect, going into this series. You know, the saddest thing for me is this is like when the proxy was scouted and he canceled it and started third base, I was like, all right, we're going to actually really see what Tassadar is made of. But
yeah,
nope, I guess not.
Just the timing here. Well, you know, the problem, guys, is that he has so many gates, he can't support this and tech at the same time, which means he has gates he either can't lose, or can't use, I should say, excuse me.
He can lose them.
He could lose them, hypothetically, or he's stuck in this tier while you know, DRG has a very much more healthy way of pushing this game forward and developing as the way a good Zerg should.
There's no way out of this one.
Yep.
He's going to have to type out here. That's the only way out, actually.
Yeah, the only way out is the exit button.
Yeah.
Zerg actually could probably just keep pushing forward with the Hydras and mass-producing links. There is GG. Okay, short and simple. Proxy Gate failed in game number 1. Game number 2, this is really where DRG has a very good understanding of Tassadar. He knows Tassadar is a sneaky player, but so obsessed with trying to fool his opponent, trying to be deceptive, that really all DRG has to do is double-check everything. Yeah. Make sure all his T's are crossed and he's dotted his I's.
Well, he sees the sentries coming. It doesn't even matter how many gates there are. He's like, oh, okay, you're doing it all in your Tassadar. You know, he doesn't have to see if it's 8 or 9 gateways on the main. He just knows, right? Like, it's not like just going to be a pressure build. That's
well, it was a good check, though, for the pylon up there at the upper right. I mean, he checked everywhere. Because Tassadar's strategy was not actually to go for 9 gates. That was, you know, plan B. That was oh no busted. He actually checked the upper right.
Yeah, I think what he was going to do was hide 5 gates up there and do 6 gates off 2 base, and he was like, well, that didn't work.
He could have done that. He might have tried to do some weird DT play. He might have tried to do a hide blink up there.
Yeah.
And do some kind of stalker all in. But whatever it was, we won't get to know because DRG made sure that right off the bat it was spotted.
That's diligent scouting.
Yeah. I mean, scouting, it's pretty good. Not just scouting your opponent's base, but scouting anywhere else.
And more importantly than that, man, scouting Tassadar, because this is how he plays this matchup.
We are going to go to a short break. When we come back, we're going to go to the winner's match and see who's going to be the first to get out of today's group here in the GSL Code.